Hi Flosstube, welcome back to Cakes and Stitches. I'm Keely and I'm here to give you my April update video and let you know all about my plans for May. So welcome back if you are a returning viewer. It's lovely to see you all again, and there are a few new people I know from last time I recorded. I think some of you found me after Sally over at Flossie Sews and Grows mentioned me. So if you're new, then welcome to you as well. I hope you enjoy what you see and I hope you stick around. So today we are going to be talking about the cross stitch that I got up to in April. April's not been a great month for me cross stitch wise. I've not done as much as I normally do. I had several non-stitch days during April, so my progress is not quite as much as I would have liked it to have been, but I've still done plenty. I've still got a lovely big pile of things here to show you. So what I'm going to do, I haven't got any notes today because I'm kind of doing this. I've just got home from work, lunchtime, had a quick bite to eat and thought I'd squeeze in a video because I think probably I won't get a chance to film again for a while. So I'm just going to go from my journal. So I use this, the Stitcher's Almanac from the Stitching Cabin, and I have my April page ready. That's my husband's anniversary card that I'm hiding in there. I have my April page open out ready for me to look at, and that's going to hopefully guide me through all the things that I need to tell you today. Right, we will start off. I'm going to work in the order of my journal, so going from the 1st of April onwards. In fact, that's not completely true. Last time I filmed was the 24th of March, so I will talk to you a little bit about what I did at the end of March as well. So the first thing I did at the end of March was finish something, which was lovely. So I finished this lovely little gnome. Isn't he cute? So sweet. So this is a pattern. I bet I've not brought the pattern with me now after all this. This is what happens when you rush, isn't it? Hang on, I have got it. It is from Sam X Stitch on Etsy. I wonder if I can show you. Let's show you. Let me cover up the pattern bit. So you can see that's a different gnome to the one I've stitched. There's 6 little gnomes in this pattern. And each of them has got their own page with a little picture of the finished gnome and the pattern. So this is the first one that I've done from those 6, and he was a delight to stitch. It's quite a limited colour palette, I think about 8 different colours, and it's on white perforated paper. My plan is to do all 6 of these and to finish them with some felt and have them as little hanging decorations for the Christmas tree. Probably not this year, if I'm completely honest with myself, but yeah, hopefully soon. In the next couple of years I'll get all of those done, but certainly I'd like to get another one of these done this year at very least, because they're nice and quick to stitch. So yeah, he's lovely, really cute. I like him a lot. Okay, so I'm going to skip a few days in March because after I finished the gnome I then spent a few days on my full coverage, and I'm going to show you that towards the end because actually I was still working on that last night for my April stitching, so I'm going to show you all of the stitching that I've done on there. And then I had a lovely little new start right before the end of the month, so on the 30th of March. So I decided to jump on the bandwagon with everybody else and get the Cotton and Twine March design March box. So this gorgeous pattern by Yasmin at Yasmin's Made with Love. I really ummed and ahed about this. I loved it. I really didn't need a new start, and I had no intentions of this ending up in my whip pile. This was supposed to be a start and finish. I knew I was going away for a week to Norfolk at Easter, and I fully intended for this to be my little crafty project while I was there, but as I said, excuse me, life happened and I didn't get as much stitching as I would like, so this has now ended up adding to my whips, but there you go. So anyway, the March subscription box, so this is new to me, the Cotton and Twine subscription box. I've had my eye on it for probably a couple of years, and this is the design that snagged me and made me go for it. I did skip the last box, the April box, which was a little design of a bee skep and it had the word June underneath. That's why I'm thinking June. But I'm looking forward to seeing what the next one is. I think we find out in the next couple of days. So So anyway, I'm using all the kit materials for this. It is still in my nurge, which I do need to take it out of because I don't intend to use it anytime soon, but here it is. So the needle minder came with the kit as well. Really cute, really strong. And as you can see, I did quite well. I've got pretty much all of this side of the design in. Obviously it needs a little bit of back stitching, and I'm missing a tiny bit of yellow up there, but I couldn't be bothered to thread a needle with a whole thread for that little bit, so I'll do that when I come and fill this one in. And I've started to get the little bear peeking out from behind the tree. So yeah, as I said, I would have liked to have finished this. Obviously I haven't. There's not huge amounts of stitching in it. I probably could if I put my mind to it, but I've got plans for the month ahead, and so this is just going to be added to my whips, and I will dig it out some other time. But as you can see, it's a lovely pattern, beautiful design, really cute. So yeah, I enjoyed that. I think I'm probably going to patch that into a project bag or something when I'm done. Okay. I am just going to stop and say I'm really sorry if you can hear background noise. It's really, really warm in England today, so I've got my windows open, but we've got gasworks happening outside and they're banging around a bit. So if there's a bit of background noise, I do apologise for that. But if I don't have the windows open, I will probably pass out. So right, let's see. So we're moving into April now. So I had another new start. 2 days later, 1st of April. Did I? Oh, hang on. Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. I'm not moving my piles across properly. So I had another new start. So this was a planned new start, which I'm doing with Laura at Cotton and Clay. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of the finished design to show you because when I printed the pattern, there was no cover picture. But it's by Barbara Anna Designs. It's on her Ko-fi shop, which you can get to on her Instagram profile, and it's called 22 Balloons. So myself and Laura had agreed we would start it at the beginning of April. So as I said, I started it on the 1st, and I don't know if you remember last time I was showing you some hand dyed fabric that I'd done, so that's what I'm using this for. So here it is. Lovely. So that's my hand dyed fabric. I'll just hold it back so you can see the whole piece, and actually the mottling is showing really, really nicely in this light, which is great. Let's, I don't know if I can fold it a bit so I can show you the stitching a bit closer. So that's what I've done. Not very much, as you can see. I've got one balloon in. As I said, the pattern's called 22 balloons. There will be 22 balloons to stitch. Some of them are teeny tiny little sort of almost background blue colours, but there are 22 of them. And I've got this sun in as well. And I've got a needle minder from Laura at Cotton and Clay. I thought the cloud suited the design perfectly. So yeah, this isn't going to be a rush to finish. I'm just going to dig this out every so often, stick in a balloon, or there's like, it's like a coastal scene here, like buildings and things, a bit of sea, some boats. So I'll stick 1 or 2 motifs in every so often and just let this one sort of plug away. There's no hurry to finish it, but I do think the colours so far are really looking gorgeous, aren't they? Really lovely. So yeah, I love that. And that's in a bag I made myself. I think I showed you this last time, but I'll flash it up anyway again. So this is a Liberty fabric. There wasn't quite enough of it, so we've got a little bit of patchwork going on the back. This is a linen that I bought for something else. That's it. It's got that same linen inside. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this bag actually. I followed the tutorial by Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, which I followed before, using her measurements, and actually the bag that I made before was just a little bit snug for my liking. It was alright width-wise, but sort of deep. I didn't feel like it was deep enough, so I just changed the measurements on this a tiny bit, and I've kept a note of my measurements because this is quite a square shape. I really like the shape and size of this, so I think those are the measurements I'll use in future. And I just thought this fabric was perfect with all the, excuse me, all the hot air balloons all over it. I thought it was perfect for it. So yeah, really pleased with that. It took me ages. I'm rubbish at sewing project bags. So slow. Okay, sorry if I'm talking really fast. I feel like I'm rattling through. Right, so I did a couple of days on 22 balloons, and then I picked up my Long Dog Samplers Tap Dancers. So this is what that will look like when it's finished. So this is one that I again have no rush to finish. It is just sort of trucking away in the background, trying to get it out at least once a month, put a few stitches on it just to keep it moving. So I probably only put a couple of hundred stitches in. Did I write it down? Actually I did. I wrote down 253 stitches, which is 5.68%. Which actually sounds pretty decent, doesn't it? Let's fold this fabric. So this is on an 18 count anthracite by Zweigart, and I'm stitching it with DMC 3808. I'm doing one strand of that, and here is where we are at now. So I really enjoyed stitching the little seahorse. It's very cute. The only problem I've got with this one is I did put it in Pattern Keeper, and I had heard other people say that long dogs don't always go into Pattern Keeper very well, and we're nearing the edge of a page up here, and when I've compared the Pattern Keeper to the paper pattern, there are maybe 1 or 2 columns of stitches missing here, so we're getting to the point where this is going to require a bit of concentration when I move on to the next page. But that is almost a full page done, so I'm quite happy with that, and I do think it is looking gorgeous. I love the colours, and I'm really sort of happy with the coverage there. It's just one strand. I think that stands out really well, so yeah, it's looking good. And that's being housed in this project bag, which is from Amazon. Well, I bought it from Amazon. It's not by Amazon, but I bought it from Amazon. They've got a few of these. They've got this one with the dogs. I think they've got one with like little stitchy sewing supply sort of pictures, like reels of thread and stuff. And then they've got one that's got like a eucalyptus leaf pattern as well. And they're about, depending on the day, because you know Amazon sort of change their prices fairly regularly, but they're about £10 to £12. So I think that's pretty good. So yeah. Okay. Right, next was one of my Whip Go calls. So which Whip Go number was this? Whip Go number 4 was a Maloka Designs pattern. Again, I don't have a cover to show you for this one because this was a free mystery pattern that Maloka Designs did, I think last year, that I started. Didn't get very far on it last year. I have got some thread hanging as well. Anyway, here it is. So this is a squirrel. So if any of you know Maloka Designs, and I'm sure most of you do, she does these like mandala style animals. So this is a mandala style squirrel, and I got quite a lot done on this. I worked on it for 3 days because that's my Whip Go goal, 3 days for each of my Whip Go projects, and it is on a 14 count Zweigart Ada with this sort of splash effect. DMCs, all the called for DMCs. I do find it, I will admit, I find it very tricky to stitch this. This is on a paper pattern, and you know, as you can see, there are lots and lots of colour changes. There's lots of, you know, a few stitches here, a few stitches there, so it does require concentration. This is definitely not a relax in front of the TV project for me, but it's looking fabulous, isn't it? Really, really nice. And I've got another one of hers kitted up ready for when this one's finished, so I do really enjoy it. It's just one that requires a little bit more concentration for me. But yeah, I think she's looking lovely, this squirrel. I love her tail. So she's lovely. Okay, so after a few days of that, I got out my Spring on Lock Lane. So you'll have seen this before. This is one that I started in January. It's by the Old Barn Stitching Company, and I started this with Sally at Flossy Sews and Grows for her Best of British sale. And my plan with this one was to do a little section each month and to get it finished by the end of the year. So I've met my goal with this for this month. So let me just take my needle minder off a minute. My needle minder is a Maloka Designs rabbit. Really sweet. So I'm going to fold this. This is on a 32 count Belfast in light mocha or mushroom, which is the called for colour, although I think the model is stitched on a 40 count. I'll try and move myself out of the way so you can see. I might do that just for a second so you can, oh, it's gone upside down. Actually, that might be better anyway. So as you can see, I've done right across the top, and I've started doing the frame, sort of this bit here around the house. Yeah, the colours are absolutely stunning on this. Love working on it. I think I spoke to you a while ago about doing the Quaker that I did for my mum and dad's anniversary. I've discovered that Quaker style, those sort of geometric designs, are definitely my jam, and this really speaks to me in that same way. There's lots of symmetry, lots of geometry in there, so I love stitching on this. The only thing I'm not keen on is that I accidentally bought a linen and I intended to get an even weave, but I can live with that. So we've kind of got January, February, March, bit of this for April. And I don't know what order I'm going to do it in, but you've kind of got sort of maybe May, June, July, August, another bit of that, September, you know, a bit of the house, October, November, something like that. So I'm just taking like little sections and working on a section each month, and in that way hopefully I'll manage to get that finished this year, so it'll be a start and finish in 1 year, which I think's pretty good going. So it's not a, you know, it's not a small pattern particularly. Okay, let me move the bag that was in. Okay, after that I had another little new start, 3 new starts. So this, again, I've been a bit useless today, no cover photo. This is a free pattern. Excuse me, it's because I've just eaten lunch. This is a free pattern, and I believe it's by Stitching Cabin, which is the company that have made my journal. If I'm lying to you, I'll put a note in the description box, but I'm pretty confident it's by Stitching Cabin. And it's a little beach hut. So that's how far I've got. Not got a lot left to do. As you can see, I've got a few stripes down here, a few stripes down there, and it's done. And I'm doing this because I've mentioned before I'm going to the Bella Filipina retreat, and as part of the retreat you do like a little gift box for somebody, and this is going to be part of my gift box. It's going to be made into a little object. So yeah, I've only got about a month to get that done, so I should be stitching around that and getting that made up shortly. That's just on a, I think it's a 16 count white Ada, I think. But it was really sweet. It's a lovely little, like I said, free pattern, nice and quick to stitch. Chose my own colours. So, you know, if anyone wants a little palette cleanser between bigger projects, something like that is perfect, isn't it? Okay, after that I went away to Norfolk for a week, and so as I said, I took Hello Spring, the cotton and twine one, with me, and I did stitch on it for a few days here and there, but not a lot, and I didn't take anything else with me. When I got back from holiday, I did a couple more days trying to actually get some progress on the Hello Spring pattern, and then I jumped into my next Whip Go call. So my next Whip Go call, which was the Whip Go number 10, was this one. So this is a Bothy Threads kit. It's called Age is Irrelevant. I'm stitching it with all the kit materials. It's a Rendell Designs picture that they have charted, and I'm ashamed to say, when I bought this and started it, my intention was for it to be my sister's 40th birthday present. My sister turned 40 in 2022, and this is how far I've got. Yeah, not very far at all. However, if any of you follow me on Instagram, I did post a before and after picture for my stitching on this in April, and I'm really pleased with my April progress, because when I picked it up, I had this bottom bit in, and I had the tiniest bit of stitching up here, and I've done sort of a great big chunk of face, and you can really see the elephant in it now, which is lovely. So this is, as I said, kit materials. It's a 14 count Ada, I believe, in their sort of signature splash that they use for the Rendell Designs. Again, it's a paper based pattern, lots and lots of colour changes, and all the colours are quite similar. I'm going to do my zip, sorry. All the colours are quite similar. as you can see, they're all sort of tones of greys and creams and things. So it's another one that's quite tough going to stitch. It takes concentration and effort, but I mean, it's well worth it. As you can see, it looks fabulous, but there's a long way to go on this. So I did think while I was stitching it, so she'll be 43 in June, maybe her 45th birthday, perhaps. No, we'll see. I actually bought, they do this picture in a print on a greetings card, so I actually bought her that and put it in a frame and gave her that instead. Oh dear, never mind. Right, the last thing I worked on in April was my Heaven and Earth Designs, my full coverage. This is what it will look like when it's finished. It's a quick stitch from Haid, and it is called Dahlia or Dahlia, not sure how you say it, D-A-H-L-I-A. And I'm stitching this for my little girl. I've promised her it will be finished this year, and I think I'm going to meet that goal. I have got a thread dangling across because I was working on it last night. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she lovely? So as you can see, I'm just going to fold her over a minute. On this side, I've gotten right down to that bottom corner. So I found my bottom corner there. And then the last few days I've been working on this side, and I've been filling in this wing of this dragonfly. And you can see there's loads and loads of little odd stitches here. So what I tend to do is I'll find a colour. So like, for example, in this eye, yeah, in this eye there was like a tealy colour. It only needed 3 stitches. So was it teal? No, I'm lying to you. It was a lilac-y colour. So it only needed 3 stitches, but there was quite a lot of the lilac down here. So I do my 3 stitches and then just take my thread till it runs out, if there's something I can get to counting reasonably well. I'm just going to pause one moment. Okay, hopefully I'm back in roughly the same spot. The noise, crazy. I don't know what they're doing out there. Yeah, so I just try and finish the thread if I can get to somewhere without having like panicky counting. I know I've got the grid, but I don't know if some of you remember, I did a Haid before and I messed up on it, and so now I'm really nervous about the counting aspect. But yeah, she's looking lovely. So I think I've done about 750 stitches on her in April. My original plan for April was 1250 stitches. I'm going to change that now. We're on Tuesday the 29th, got 2 more days. So I'm going to try and get to 1,000 before the end of the month, and that'll keep me roughly on track, I think. Right, that's it. That's all the stitching I did in April, which actually, because there was a bit of March in there, I suppose, wasn't too bad, given that I've had a few no stitch days. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to show you my haul. There's not very much of it, to be honest. I've been a good girl this month. And then I'm going to talk to you about my May plans. So have a quick swig of drink. Okay. So my first bit of haul, I didn't actually buy this month. I've got 2 bits of fabric. I'm going to get them out, so excuse the rustling. 2 bits of fabric by Fabrics and Crafty Kate. So I ordered these on pre-order in her January sale, and they turned up just before Easter, I think. And they're lovely. Really, really lovely. So one of them I've got a plan for. So this, I'm sure loads of you will know what this is. This is Bluetiful, which I think is a pretty well-known colour of Kate's. Look at that. So nice. So, so nice. This would work really well for that balloon pattern as well, I think. Really, really well. So this is a... What did I get with this one? It's an even weave, 32 count. I do prefer even weave to linen. And my plan for this is to stitch Yasmin's Made with Love Summer Bouquet on it. That's the called for fabric for her Summer Bouquet pattern. I don't know when, but you know what we like, us stitchers. I like to be prepared, right? And then this other colourway is called Desert. So so I can see through this one. I fold it up. Let's fold it up and see if that helps a little bit. I need to invest in a board. That's better. So you can see it's this really nice, almost like a pale coffee colour. A little bit of mottling. It's not overly mottled, very light. I got this also even with, I got this in a 28 count. Don't have any plans for this, just a really nice neutral to have for something. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful fabric. And obviously, as you can see, it all comes overlocked on the edges, which I think is a really nice touch. So 2 bits of fabric, as I say, they were purchased in January. And then, unless I've forgotten something, I know I ordered some threads from Rachel at Talking Dog Stitchery, just some CXC threads for a pattern that I've bought actually, which, oh, I can show you. Hang on. Ooh. I'm back. Sorry, probably very unflattering. Right, luckily I've got my tablet up here. So I bought a pattern. This is a pattern I've had my eye on for years, like 2-3 years probably. And then I started watching Rogue Mama Stitcher. I've never watched her before, but she had a Whip Parade come up, like a 2.5 hour video. And one day when I was ironing, a bit before Easter, maybe a bit after Easter, I can't remember, around Easter time, I was watching her video. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to go right back to the beginning and watch all of them, which I've started doing. But in the background, anyway, on her Whip Parade, in the background, she had this cross stitch piece, which was this pattern that I've been looking at. And I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to buy it. Just buy it. Have I got it? I'm worried now I haven't got it. Have I got it? Have I got it? I don't think it's on this tablet. Oh no. Anyway, I'll tell you about it. It is it's a witch in a cauldron, and the cauldron's like a bathtub. I'm just gonna have a quick search and see if I can see the pattern very quickly on Etsy. Sorry. That's what happens when you do a video on a whim and don't make any notes, isn't it? Let's see if, oh, I've got it. Oh no, I haven't. I did have it. Where's it gone? Right, it's by a company called Thousands Patterns on Etsy. Let's just pull it up. You can't see all of it, but there. Isn't she gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. Like I say, I've been looking at her for ages. Ages and ages and ages. There's the bottom. There's the top. Oh, love her. I absolutely love a, oh look, you can see it all now. Love a bath. One of my favourite things, just lying in the bath. So this really speaks to me, this pattern. So yeah, I bought that. And I bought the threads from Rachel to stitch it. And what was I going to stitch it on? I think I've got a bit of coffee craft fabric I might stitch it on. So yes, I bought some threads. The only other thing I can remember buying, apart from that pattern and the threads from Rachel, is from eBay. So it's a D-stash. I think it might have been Cross Stitch Sarah who posted it on her Instagram, that she was de-stashing some stuff. And anyway, I bought this lovely booklet by Teresa Kogut with Thy Hands. Absolutely love this sampler. It's another one that I've seen several times. I think Ellie at Ellie Welly Stitcher, or is it Elaine rather, Ellie Welly Stitcher, has stitched this. I think I saw it on her channel. I love it. I think it's so beautiful. The colours are gorgeous. Those are sort of really rich jewel tones. And I don't know if you remember, I've bought myself what's it called? It's a Brenda Gervais pattern. It's Not What Remains Is Love. That's similar. Can't remember. Anyway, I bought myself a Brenda Gervais sampler pattern, which I was going to start for my birthday, but I'm a bit scared of it because it's very big and there are some bits in there that aren't cross stitch. So I'm wondering whether to do this one first, because in terms of size, this is still pretty chunky. To kind of work my way up, work myself up with the confidence to do a big piece. But this is all full crosses. There's nothing other than cross stitching this as far as I can remember. So yeah, it's lovely. And it's also got these other patterns in it. It's got this lady and this sort of smaller sampler, which if I was sensible, I would do the smaller sampler, but I'm not. So I'll probably end up doing the big one. But yeah, I thought that was gorgeous. Love it. So that's my haul. On to plans. Another quick swig of drink. The noise has stopped at last. Okay, so I am going to have what I'm calling an almost monogamous May, because there are some things that I need to do. I need to work on my dahlia. This little lady needs to have a minimum of 1,000 stitches a month if I'm going to get her done. So I am going to bring out a dahlia. I'm thinking I might do 50 stitches a day on her, just to keep her ticking over. So she's going to get some love. And I've got my whip go. So I'm going to do my whip go. So my whip go calls for May, they've just come out, were 5 and 9. So for me, right, this is it's the pattern. It's a free pattern, so I'm going to flash it up really quickly because there's no cover photo. So that is from Pinker and Pumpkin blog. Her name's Melissa. It's called Dorothy May's Spring House. And this is where I am. So I'm going to show you where I am now on these, and then when I come back after May, you'll be able to see how much progress I've made. So this is it so far. It's on a piece of 14 count tea dyed Ada that I dyed. I've chosen my own colours. I kind of just looked at the picture and picked colours that I thought were similar. So yeah, so that's going to have 3 days because that's my whip go goal. And all of my whip go pieces are on twice. So I reckon 2 calls on that, 6 days work, that could be done this year, hopefully. So that's going to come out. Trying to remember where that bag's from. I can't remember, so I'm not going to say anything. My other whip go call is this one. So it says, I'm fine, it's fine, everything is fine. Can't remember. Oops, sorry. Can't remember who it's by. I'll have a quick look in a sec. It was from Etsy. It is, have I written it? Oh My Stitches Shop on Etsy. I have written it on there. Rare moment of organisation. And this is where that one is. Beautiful. So this is a even weave, probably 32 count in a grey. So I know I'm using, do I know I'm using CXC? Pretty confident I'm using CXC on this. This hasn't been out very much. So 3 days on that will be a lot of fun. Get a few more of those beautiful flowers in, a bit more of the wording. Love that. So that's going to get 3 days love. Probably said that already. Got a mark on that. And then, as I said, almost monogamous May. Apart from dahlia and my 2 whip go calls, the only other thing I'm going to work on is this beauty. So this is Anemone by Nora Corbett. She is from the Pixie Blossoms collection. So lovely. This was a birthday present from my sister last year, I believe. And I'm going to focus on this one because, as I said, I'm going to the Bella Filipina retreat. And one of my plans is to buy and start a Bella Filipina while I'm there. But I wanted to have another fancy lady that I was working on while I'm there. And I thought it'd be good to get a bit more progress on her before I go. So this is where she is at the moment. She is stitched on 32 count Belfast Silvery Moon by Zweigart. Actually, I'll keep her folded over because there's nothing on the bottom half at the moment, or on that side. This is her so far. So as you can see, I've got the top part of her right wing in. I started doing a little bit of her neckline of her dress, a little bit of her arm. So yeah, I'd like to make a bit of a dent in the bodice of her dress and maybe finish up this wing and arm at least before I go to the retreat. So as I said, she's going to be my main focus for May, and we'll see how far I can get on her. I will show you next time. Hopefully there'll be loads and loads of stitching done. That would be nice. So I think that's it. Done my stitching, done my haul, done my plans. I don't really have any knitting to show you. I did finish something a couple of days ago, but it's still got all ends coming out of it and stuff, so I'll show you that next time. I have been doing some reading. I did the Books for Bowel Cancer read along. What did I read? I read Word Nerd, which is a novel written for teenagers really, but I really enjoyed it. I read, so that was my something with red on the cover for the symptom. I'm going to talk symptoms now of bowel cancer, because that was the whole point of the read along, was that each book prompt related to a symptom of bowel cancer. And I don't know if I spoke about it before, but my dad had bowel cancer. One of my cousins very sadly died of bowel cancer, and we just found out before Easter that another cousin's wife has bowel cancer. So it's very prevalent in my family, so it's really important to me. So one of the symptoms is blood in your poo, and the book prompt for that was red on the cover. So that was Word Nerd that I read. One of the symptoms is sort of unusual toileting for you, and so I think the book prompt for that was like a book that's a different genre to what you would usually read. So I read The Doctor Will See You Now by Amir Khan. So he's like he's a GP, but he's also on Instagram. He does lots of TV stuff. So it was like a autobiographical novel about autobiographical book about his life as a GP. Really interesting. I loved it actually. It's very entertaining. I do think he perhaps has a rose tinted glasses on when he thinks of how people get treated by doctors, because some of my experiences have not been as amazing as the ones he wrote about. But anyway, it was really good. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. I read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. I read that on my Kindle. So one of the prompts was a short book. Is it a short book? Well, I'm going to pause a minute. Hang on. Right, back again. That was Word Nerd by Susan Nielsen. Really good. I went to get this. So I bought the Books for Bowel Cancer bookmark. So it tells you the symptoms on the back. So you had the blood in your poo, which was Word Nerd, red on the cover. A change in how often you poo, or regularly having diarrhea or constipation. I think that was Reading Something Different, which was my book by Amir Khan. Losing weight, but you're not sure why. So that was a short book. So that was my Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. And then, what was the other one I read? Oh, one of the symptoms is a pain or lump in your tummy. And the book prompt was a book that you've been avoiding, I believe. So I read The Last Act of Love, which I've had for years and kept putting off because I thought it was going to really make me cry. And it did make me cry a little bit, but not as much as I thought. It was a good book. I enjoyed it. And then the other symptom was feeling very tired all the time, but you're not sure why. And the prompt for that was a self-care prompt. So it was like, maybe have a pamper day or something. So, yeah. So interesting. And these bookmarks were produced by the lady running the readathon, and all the profits go to Bowel Cancer UK. So good. Okay, that's it. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me once again. I hope you have enjoyed what you have watched. I hope I haven't spoken too fast and that there wasn't too much background noise. Yeah, looking forward to seeing how I get on in May with my stitching, how far I get with anemone. Obviously I'm only working on 4 projects in May, so when I next come back, which will probably be early June, I won't have loads of projects to show you, but I will be back from the Bella Filipina retreat, so I will probably have lots of haul to show you instead, so we can look forward to that. Anyway, take care everyone, and I will see you again soon. Bye.